bond between Lily and Ghost grew stronger with each passing day. The town watched in quiet amazement as the once feared German Shepherd, who had snarled and snapped at everyone, now followed a little girl around like a gentle shadow. He never barked at her. He never growled. He simply walked beside her, his big, sad eyes always watching, always guarding. Still, no one else could get near him. Ghost trusted Lily and only Lily. One Saturday afternoon, Lily and her parents went for a walk in the woods behind the school. The sun was setting, casting golden light through the trees. Ghost walked close beside Lily, tail wagging gently. It was a beautiful day, and for a while everything felt perfect. But deep in the forest, Lily wandered a little too far while chasing a butterfly. Her parents turned their heads for only a second and she was gone. They called out her name, again and again. No answer. Panic spread fast. They searched every path, every bush. Night began to fall, and fear gripped their hearts. The police were called. Neighbors joined the search, bringing flashlights and shouting Lily's name into the cold night. But the one who found her wasn't human. It was Ghost. He had been running through the woods, nose to the ground, ears alert. Suddenly, he let out a sharp bark, a sound that echoed through the trees. Then another. A man nearby heard it and followed the sound. There, under a fallen tree branch, was Lily, wet, cold, and crying. She had tripped and fallen while exploring and couldn't climb out from under the heavy branch. Her jacket was soaked, her hands muddy, but she was okay. And lying beside her, keeping her warm and safe, was Ghost. He had curled his body around her like a protector, growling low anytime someone got too close too fast. When her father arrived and saw Ghost lying there, he froze. But Lily, with tears in her eyes, smiled and whispered, "He stayed with me." Ghost stood up slowly, his tail wagging once as he backed away to let her father scoop her up. That night, the story spread across town like wildfire. The dog they had all feared, the dangerous stray, the broken one, had found a missing child and kept her safe through the cold and dark. He hadn't run. He hadn't barked for help out of panic, but out of purpose. The town's fear turned to awe. And then to love. The next day, something unbelievable happened. People left treats outside their doors. A warm bed was set up for Ghost outside the school. The vet came to check on him. He still didn't like being touched, but he let Lily hold his paw while the vet looked at his old wounds. And then came the moment that changed everything. At a small town gathering, Lily stood in front of everyone and asked a question. "Can Ghost come live with us?" Her parents looked at each other, then nodded. Cheers broke out. For the first time in a long time, Ghost wagged his tail in front of everyone. No growling, no fear, just trust. He wasn't a ghost anymore. He was family. From that day on, Ghost walked Lily to school every morning and waited outside until she came out. He was still cautious with others, but never with her. She had seen his broken heart and helped it heal, and he had protected hers. Two lost souls had found each other, and in doing so, reminded the whole town of what love, patience, and a little courage could truly do. After the night Ghost saved Lily in the woods, everything in Elmswood began to shift. The once feared German Shepherd, who had growled at everyone and hid in the shadows, had become a hero overnight. But even more powerful than the story itself was what began to happen afterward. At first, people didn't know how to act around Ghost. Some were still nervous. Others kept their distance out of respect. But they couldn't deny the truth. This dog, once broken and scared, had risked everything to keep a child safe. Slowly, one by one, the town began to let go of its fear. The local vet, Dr. Harper, offered to check Ghost over again, this time at Lily's home where he felt safe. Ghost let her gently touch his paw and listen to his heart. She discovered that he had healed well on the outside, but the emotional wounds would take more time. "He has deep scars," Dr. Harper said gently, but he's coming back, because of her. Lily took care of Ghost like he was her own. She brushed his fur, cleaned his water bowl, and read to him every night just like she did in the beginning. Her parents watched in awe as the two grew even closer. Ghost would sleep beside her bed, waking up if she stirred, standing guard like her silent protector. What amazed people most was how Ghost changed around Lily. With her, he was soft, calm, and affectionate. He even let her rest her head on him when she was tired. But with strangers, he was still cautious, never aggressive but watchful. Then something beautiful began to happen. One morning, as Lily and Ghost walked through town, they passed the school bus stop. A younger boy named Max had dropped his lunchbox and looked frightened when Ghost walked near. Lily smiled and said, "It's okay. He won't hurt you." Ghost sat down, his ears perked, and tilted his head. Max froze, but then slowly stepped forward and picked up his lunchbox. When Ghost didn't growl or move, Max whispered, "Good boy." It was a small moment, but a powerful one. More kids started coming up to Lily to ask about Ghost. She explained how scared he used to be, how it took weeks of sitting quietly for him to trust her. She talked about patience, kindness, and listening with your heart instead of just your ears. The teachers at Lily's school noticed something too. More children began to show empathy. More kids helped each other. Fewer arguments on the playground. Even the principal said, "It's like that dog taught them something we couldn't." The mayor invited Lily and Ghost to a town event. When they walked on stage together, Ghost sat calmly by her feet while she spoke into the microphone. "Ghost wasn't mean," she said softly. "He was just scared. But when you're kind to someone, even someone hurt or angry, they can heal. Like he did." The crowd stood in applause. Some people wiped away tears. That day, Ghost was given an official medal from the town for bravery and loyalty. But for Lily, no medal was needed. She already knew the truth. Ghost wasn't just a hero to her, he was her best friend. And through her quiet love, a little girl had helped a broken dog find peace and helped the town learn how to open their hearts again. The town of Elmswood was a quiet, peaceful place where everyone knew each other. Children played in the parks, neighbors shared warm greetings, and there was rarely any trouble. But one evening, something strange and sad happened that no one could forget. It was just after sunset when a German shepherd appeared on the edge of town. He was limping badly, his fur soaked from the rain, his ribs poking through his thin body. His eyes were dark and filled with something deeper than fear, something broken. No collar, no tags. Just a wounded, silent shadow wandering the streets. The first person to see him was Mr. Grant, the local baker. He opened his back door to throw out food scraps when he spotted the dog standing in the alley. "Hey, boy," Mr. Grant said gently. Tossing a piece of bread toward him, the dog growled, low, deep. Warning. Mr. Grant froze. He didn't move closer. He slowly backed away and shut the door. The next day, word spread. "There's a wild dog out there," people said. "Looks dangerous." Kids were warned not to go near him. Shop owners kept their doors closed. Few brave souls tried to leave food, but each time the dog growled, barked, or snapped at the air. They started calling him Ghost because he came and went without a sound, disappearing into the woods behind the school or under the abandoned cars near the scrapyard. He never stayed in one place, never let anyone close, and never accepted help. Animal control tried once. They brought nets and treats. But as soon as they approached, Ghost bared his teeth, backing into a corner, barking so loudly that they gave up. "He's been abused," one of the officers said. "You can see it in his eyes. Someone hurt that dog badly." People believed it. Maybe he had been a police or guard dog who was thrown away. Maybe he was beaten. No one really knew. But it was clear he didn't trust humans. Not one bit. Days turned into weeks. Rain fell. Snow came. Still, Ghost stayed outside, always watching, always alone. He had scars, both the kind you could see and the kind you see OULDN single quotes T. One cold morning. A woman named Sarah noticed something strange. Ghost had dug a shallow hole near the community center under a bush. He wasn't just wandering anymore. He was staying. That scared people even more. He might bite a child, one mother said. He's unpredictable, warned another, but Sarah noticed something else too. Every time she looked at Ghost, she didn't see anger. She saw fear. His tail was always low, his ears down. He didn't want to hurt anyone. He just didn't want to be hurt again. Still, fear grew around town. People stopped walking through the park where Ghost sometimes slept. Stores stopped putting food out. Some even said he should be removed for everyone's safety. But no one could get close enough to do anything. He had become a ghost not just in name, but in spirit. A broken soul walking alone, until one day someone new arrived. A little girl with quiet eyes and a brave heart, and Ghost's world would never be the same again. Lily was only 8 years old when she and her parents moved to Elmswood. Her dad had gotten a new job, and they settled into a small yellow house near the edge of town. Lily didn't say much during those first few days. She was quiet, thoughtful, and loved being outdoors more than being around crowds. She didn't have many friends yet. At recess, while other kids ran and laughed, Lily often sat alone under a tree, reading her favorite storybook about a brave knight and a lost wolf who became friends. One afternoon, as she walked home from school, something caught her eye near the edge of the playground. Just behind the old fence, partly hidden under a bush, was a large, dirty dog. His ears perked up when she looked at him, and he growled softly. Most kids would have run. But Lily didn't. She didn't move closer, either. She just stood there and looked at him. His eyes were sad, not angry. She could tell. He looked tired, lonely. That night, Lily asked her mom, what happened to the big dog near the playground? Her mom's face tightened. Oh, sweetie, stay away from him. That dog's not safe. He's been hurt, and he doesn't trust people. Everyone calls him Ghost. But Lily didn't feel afraid. The next day after school, she came back not with fear, but with something else. Kindness. She sat on the grass a few feet away from where Ghost was hiding. She opened her book and began to read out loud. Her voice was soft and gentle. Ghost didn't move. He didn't growl. He just watched her. After a while, she closed her book, placed a small piece of chicken on the ground near her, and walked away. The next day, she did it again and again. Every afternoon, Lily came back. She never tried to touch Ghost. She never got too close. She just sat and read stories, left food, and waited. Days turned into a week. Slowly, Ghost began to inch closer. At first, he would only come out when she left. But then one afternoon, as Lily read about the knight and the wolf, Ghost stepped out from the shadows and lay down not next to her, but just close enough to hear her voice. He didn't growl. He didn't bark. He listened. By the end of the second week, Ghost was waiting for her when she arrived. His ears twitched when he heard her voice, and his tail began to thump gently against the grass. When she left, he followed her halfway down the path, then stopped and watched until she disappeared. One day, Lily reached into her bag and pulled out something new, a small scarf. You look cold, she said softly. She held it out, not moving closer. Ghost sniffed it from a distance. He didn't run. And then something amazing happened. He stepped forward and sat beside her. Just like that. No barking. No growling. Just trust. Lily didn't try to pet him. She knew he wasn't ready yet. But Ghost had made a choice. The little girl who wasn't afraid had become his friend. the people in town started to notice. "Is that Ghost?" someone whispered as they watched the pair sitting quietly under the tree. "He's letting her sit with him." "I've never seen that before." Neither had anyone else. Something was changing, and no one knew it yet, but Lily's quiet bravery was about to save more than just a broken dog.